Okay, so it is Saturday, and I don't even know what the date is. This is taking me all out of whack here. Last week was break, and I didn't get a whole lot done. I spent the week with my family and didn't think about work at all. That was nice. I hope all of you did the same. I spent the day cleaning the shop a little bit, for the morning, probably Thursday morning. Just cleaning this side up, getting metal off the floor, sweeping stuff. I hung a sign up, a couple signs that were in my way that came from my shop up in Morrisville. I haven't done much. I accidentally tore part of the plastic down. We spent the last couple days camping on the lawn because we can't go anywhere anyway, so might as well camp on the lawn. Moved a bunch of stuff around the driveway, tried to clean the area up a little bit. Yeah, I think the last thing I had was a time lapse of me cutting the strut towers off of this and then starting to cut this situation here. So you can see I've cut this back, and then the back side is cut even further back, so they're offset. This side will stick frontward a little bit further, and this side, so that way you don't have one welded seam. I'm gonna start doing the exact same thing on this side. So probably gonna put the camera back over near the radios where I had it before, and just do another time lapse and go from there. My goal today, which I think is a very obtainable goal at this point, is to get this front end on and tacked on. I still need to cut this section off up here. You can see how mangled this metal is, so all this stuff has to be replaced. At least you can see how buggered. But I mean, like I said in previous videos, this is exactly what this was supposed to do. It's made to crumple and crush. This side did not, and I think this is probably right where it should be, but I'm not 100% sure, and I don't know if I want to risk that, so I might cut this right here and weld this together like the other side is welded together. I still haven't figured that out yet. I might dissect some of this and leave this piece. I really haven't fully figured that out yet. I might take this off because it'd take me all of 10 minutes to get this piece right out of there. And that way this side will still be intact, and that side's really the only side that I'm welding. So I don't think it buggered this up here at all. All this still looks pretty good and intact. I don't think it bent any of this. So that's what I'm gonna be working on. We're gonna go from there, and yeah, hopefully this all works out good. Okay. Okay, so I stopped the video and I realized that I haven't done a lot of explanation on some of this stuff, and I'd like to get into that a little bit better. So I'm like halfway through cutting this off here, and you can see I cut this section back, and now I'm trying to get this piece out. So essentially what I have to do is drill the spot welds off of just this back half of this section, right? And then it's gonna kind of slide out from behind this And then we also have this brace here, right? So I've drilled all the spot welds from behind so that I can re-weld everything back in. There were some stitch welds here. And essentially, I'm gonna peel this up a little and then break free everything inside of here. And this piece should just kind of slide out. You can see how it happened on this through here. I damaged a little bit. I'll have to weld back up in there. But you can see how what's gonna happen is when I put the new piece in, that piece is gonna slip in here. This piece is gonna weld here. And then it's just gonna re-weld on here. You can see this, I bent this a little. That'll just go back, weld, weld, weld. Do a little seam weld there. It'll all look perfect once it's done. It'll look seamless, okay? So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna throw it back into time lapse, finish this piece up. It's probably gonna be 10 seconds worth of time lapse because I'm like 10 seconds from being done. And maybe I will just, you know what? I'm just gonna set it up. And I can set it up on the cart. That's what I'll do. Set it up on the cart, and then I'll just I'll peel it off in real time. It really shouldn't take that long. And when I'm in real time, I can always make it speed up anyway. So if when I get it into the editing software, it's a little too long, I'll just speed it up. Okay, so I've got this ready to go. I need a hammer. And I need my seam buster. I've got a couple seam busters that I use. I've also got this pneumatic one. Showed you guys, we've got this pneumatic one that hooks into an air hammer. But I don't know, when you want to be precise, you really got to do this stuff by hand. So I have this right angle one, and I have a straight one here. And I just use a dead blow hammer, probably like a 1 pound. 24 ounce, so it's a pound and a half dead blow hammer. And then essentially just kind of work pieces up. Start from the back side here. I can't see it, but this is where I said I flop that metal up a little bit. You just kind of want to focus on the seam welds, the spot welds themselves. That one there, not quite well. You know, just want to be really careful with some of this stuff. Because as it comes apart, remember it has to go back together. And what I'd like to do is be able to salvage the pieces. That's what I'm going to use to line it up on the other side. Here, broke free now. I think it is. Yeah, free there. Okay, so the only other thing I gotta go down the seam. I may have missed one right there. Just one. That's okay. You always want to make sure that you got it good before you start pounding, because if you don't get all the spot welds, that's when metal starts to tear. You just got to be conscious of that when you're trying to put stuff back together. This, you might see me using this a little bit. This is something that I discovered when I was up at my shop. We had a Worth rep. Worth is a pretty awesome company. And this stuff's called Cut Cool. This stuff has saved many bits. These bits, I think this was 25 or 30 bucks just for the one of these spot weld bits. And if you're not conscious when you're working on high strength steel and stuff like that, it'll eat one of these bits up. It's all things to think about when you're pricing jobs, things like that. We used to get money for these when we had to do a job like this or something similar. When you're cutting spot welds, you use, you know, 3-4 of these on a job like this. That's $100-something bucks, right? So something to think about. Probably can't see this fully from the camera angle, but I've got the seam lifter in there with this almost cutter head, and I'm just hitting it, and it's just breaking the seam free all the way down through. Now there's a couple layers. There is a reinforcement in there, and I want to retain that because the rear part of the subframe mount is all reinforced right here. I want to make sure that I keep that. Yeah, no. So those welded together on the bottom there. Awesome. Got one little spot here hanging us on the bottom. Just trying to figure out something real solid right there. Dude, see that right off. There, that should come off there now. The only other thing I had problems with, and I can't get to, and I know I can't, this edge right here, there's 2 spot welds in there, so I'm probably, what I did on the last one is I took the air hammer, just kind of air hammered it apart. That's really the only thing that's stopping us right now, I believe, from getting this thing out of there. And I can't do it without the air hammer. I don't believe. It does bugger it up a little, but I plan to hopefully put a little incision in there and weld that back together. There's like pretty solid weld right here. And here's there. You see me put these headphones / ear protection on occasionally. I think it's important. This is very important. Okay, so what we have is this mangled but semi-flat piece, right? So I'm going to take this over and use this because I cut it right in the middle of this half moon shape, right? So there's a little clip that I know is the same on that one. So I'm going to pull the clip, I'm going to lay this on the steel, that way I can get perfect cut here to match this side up. And I saved these outer C channels to do the exact same thing. So my hope is that I can cut this perfectly, right? Both sides, do basically the same thing I just did here, but easier because I have all of this stuff off already. So I don't have to finagle with any of this. I just drill a couple spots, boom, cut it off, and the bottom should fit perfectly here. That's the hope, and that's the goal, and that's what's going to happen. So. And like I said before, I think I might leave this intact because this is not terrible. It doesn't look bent, buckled at all. If anything, it's down, but I don't even know if that's true because it doesn't look bent or buckled. So I'd like to leave this side on, which is easy enough to do. I'm just looking at it. and then I'll cut this side off. The more things I can leave on the vehicle that were here originally that weren't bent or messed up or anything, the better it's gonna be fitment wise when I put everything back together. So I think that's my plan. I'm gonna leave this, I'm gonna cut it off of that one. That way I don't have to, I had said I was gonna cut this thing out, but I think that I'll just do it out of that one. So that was pretty long. We're sitting 17 minutes. It's probably not gonna be that long after I edit it. I'll speed up some stuff, but this is the last little bit, and I'm glad that I put this all in somewhat slower motion perspective so I could explain some of this stuff. As I'm putting stuff together, I'll try to do this more, explain. Cool.